Yes, Tom Homan, if border policy was a person, this guy, the Denver mayor, though. Okay, so Homan coming in, this Denver mayor says he's willing to go to jail to block his deportation. Mr. Homan, oblige this man.
Me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail.
Finally! I wish the Denver mayor cared as much about actual citizens as he does about these illegal immigrants. Imagine being represented by a guy who's willing to go to jail for people that broke the law. Denver is already facing a catastrophic healthcare crisis that is, oddly enough, directly correlated to the influx of migrants in the city. Here, look. In 2020, the hospital had about $60 million in uncompensated care. Within 2 years, that number doubled to $120 million. And last year, that number increased to $136 million, with a quarter of that cost coming from non-Denver residents. By non-Denver residents, they're not talking about people from Vermont. They are talking about illegal immigrants who come to Denver because they have a system that's built where they can basically do whatever they want. They'll cater to them. They'll give them all these benefits. And because they don't have health care, most of these migrants, they typically work entry-level jobs with no or very little benefits. A lot of these people are using the emergency room as their primary health care provider. And what's worse, if they get coached by all these NGOs on their way and these nonprofits on what to say to get to the front of the line. According to the law, right here, quote, migrants, regardless of their immigration status, must be given medical care in an emergency room if they present a life-threatening condition, meaning they should be seen immediately and placed on the front of the line as per Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act. Okay, so they walk in and they say the magic word that they've been coached to say, I have chest pain and I have trouble breathing. And all they really need is like a Z-Pack because they have the flu. They get moved to the front of the line. They get basically an entire physical because anything related to heart or breathing issues gets the works. You get EKG, blood work, neuro exam, all of it, which all use expensive equipment. They take a bunch of staffing and a ton of money, and then they give these people just like an antibiotic shot and a Z-Pack and whatever and send them on their way. And when the hospital sends a bill to the address that that person gave, which may or may not be real, those bills don't get paid. And now the hospitals may go belly up, like they might right now, which means that actual insured American tax-paying citizens could be deprived of a hospital. And they've already been deprioritized for care. I mean, given the massive backlogs at the ER, why not add taking away the hospital altogether? You see how this works, Denver? You think you're helping people until someone in your family has a heart attack and dies waiting for medical care. Great job, because you imported 42,000 new non-tax-paying people that are straining our infrastructure. And the good people of Denver, for some reason, keep voting for this crap. 55 to 44 in the last election. It's also stressing the housing crisis. And look, I love this. Some guy on Twitter, I don't even know who he is, said, would love to hear from a Republican worried about food or housing costs. How exactly deporting 10 million people would grow and pick our food and build our houses is going to lower food and housing costs. Well, look, Americans do all those jobs too, you racist troglodyte. Also, must have slept through Econ 101, because when you subtract 42,000 people, in Denver's case, from the need to be housed, you have what some economists call a surplus of homes, which is the opposite of right now, which means prices will go down. I didn't go to college. What do I know? And the liberal policies, they're not only incentivizing migrants to come, but gangs too. We told you the other day about this one. Tren de Aragua considering moving their headquarters to Denver. I mean, can you imagine that? Go, hola, Sotheby's. I'd like to put our dangerous gang headquarters somewhere. I hear Denver mayor is willing to go to jail for us. Let's move some property there. Have any warehouse space for our fentanyl operation? Yeah, 40 bucks a square foot? We'll take it. I mean, it sounds funny, but that's exactly what's happening. Denver, on their own webpage, newcomer and migrant support pay. Are you kidding me? They're practically giving stuff away. It's like leaving honey out and wondering why the bears are coming. I mean, funny enough, the same state of Colorado has signs all over all of their parks and on their website. There's don't feed the bears because they'll become dependent on a system. Hello? People are... It's unbelievable. You wonder why Trump won? This is why. Because you have moms who had to listen to an audio tape at the trial of their daughter fighting off her killer for 18 minutes. Illegal immigrant. Because crime is spiking everywhere these migrants are coming to. Because 300,000 kids completely unaccounted for. Because the same party screaming and fake crying about children being separated at detention facilities, for their own safety, by the way. Yeah, that party's policy just lost, can't find and can't account for 300,000 children. You got a 2-year-old, an unaccompanied 2-year-old, just strolling around, coming across the border. My 2-year-old can't even go get the mail without me being worried about him that something's going to go wrong. And yet, this 2-year-old, no parents, no guardians, nothing, just wandering out by the border in the desert. These are the conditions that bad border policies have created. They aren't helping anyone. They're endangering those who are coming here and screwing over actual American citizens because they're overrunning our services, like in Ohio, man. These people, they're eating like geese out of the pond. They're not conforming to our laws and customs. Many of them don't even speak English. Oh, Carl, but they're coming here for a better life. Maybe, but it shouldn't be at the taxpayer's expense. And most of the money they're making here is being sent back to their relatives overseas anyway. Don't give me that asylum garbage either. 99% of these people are not asylum seekers. They may have checked that on the little app that they were told to use, but the asylum is for people who are actively being pursued and worried about their life, limb, or safety. That's 99% of these people are not that. And while we're dumping billions into this, we have American citizens freezing in North Carolina because there's no money in FEMA to house them after the hurricane destroyed their home because they gave it all to illegal immigrants. Look, I'm fine helping people. I encourage charity, but there needs to be a priority chart, especially for our government. Illegal immigrants are at like the bottom of that as far as I'm concerned. And sorry, not sorry. New York is spending hundreds of millions to house these people in hotels, jacking up the rates citywide for the rest of us. How about every homeless veteran gets put up, gets a home, gets the health care they earned before you spend another penny on someone who broke the law to get here? How about you fix every road, every bridge, every tunnel first? How about you stop printing money to do this so our inflation actually goes down? Make sure that children of taxpayers aren't being forced out of schools by people who shouldn't be there. I can go on, and some lib is going to call me a bigot for that. I'm so done. I don't even care anymore. I don't think I'm alone in this either. I just am willing to say it out loud. I am done watching Americans die and be pushed into secondary priority status while we foot the bill for people who have no respect for our custom laws and process. I'm talking about illegal immigrants, not legal ones too, for any liberals watching. That was the mandate the American people just handed to Washington too.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.